If you boil it all down, there's really one big story for all of humanity. It's the story of how we connect with each other. It's this epic journey, right? Stretching back thousands of years, from like the flicker of a campfire all the way to the glow of the smartphone screen in your hand. So in this explainer, we're going to follow that exact path. It's going to be a wild ride.
I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. It is absolutely mind-boggling. How on earth did we get from painting on a rock wall to being able to have a live video chat with literally anyone, anywhere on the globe instantly? That gap seems impossible to cross. Well, that's a story we're going to dig into right now.
So before we even dreamed of writing things down or sending a signal, we already had the most powerful communication tools imaginable. And they were us, our own voices, our bodies, just being there with each other. So yeah, let's rewind. Let's go all the way back to the very beginning. When you get right down to it, it's actually pretty simple. Communication is it's like this invisible thread, It's what weaves us all together, our families, our communities, and really everything we've ever built as a species. It's just how we get what's in our heads and in our hearts out into the world and to someone else.
And our very first conversations, they were super physical, really personal. We're talking singing and telling stories around a fire. We're talking using our whole bodies to dance, to show we were happy or sad. Even the things we wore, the clothes, the jewelry we made, all of it sent a message. It told a story about who we were and what group we belonged to.
Okay, but what if you want to say something that lasts? Something that's still there after the song ends or the dance is over? Well, that's where symbols and art come into play. And to really get a handle on this huge leap, we can look to one of the oldest cultures on the planet, the San people of Southern Africa.
This phrase you're seeing, it's actually the national motto of South Africa right now, but its origins go back thousands of years to the ancient language of the San. It means people who are different coming together. Just think about that. It's such a powerful idea, and it has traveled through all that time to reach us today, all from a language full of these really unique clicks and sounds. And their way of communicating was just so rich. It wasn't just about their amazing click language. They would use things like shell necklaces to show, hey, I'm part of this family group. And they had these powerful all-night trance dances. That was how they connected with their spirit world to ask for things like rain or for someone to be healed.
In this rock art, this was not just some quick sketch on a wall. No way. It was this deeply meaningful, involved process. I mean, can you imagine grinding up ochre rock into a fine powder, then mixing it with animal blood and fat? Every single painting was a deliberate, powerful act. It was a story or a spiritual vision put on that rock for everyone to see for generations.
All right, so we've pretty much figured out how to talk to each other face to face. That's sorted. But what happens when the person you need to talk to is way over on the next mountain? That was the next giant hurdle for humanity. How do you break the tyranny of distance?
And you could almost feel things speeding up as we go, right? We started out with things you could see, like puffs of smoke, or things you could hear, like drums echoing through a valley. Then, the ancient Greeks got really clever, using mirrors to flash sunlight. In the Middle Ages, carrier pigeons were basically the high-speed internet. After that, we had messengers on horseback, and eventually the modern postal system, which made things reliable, even if it wasn't exactly instant. And then, boom, everything changed. When we figured out how to harness electricity, it wasn't just about powering factories. No, this was a communication revolution. It was the thing that was going to make our huge planet feel small.
This, right here, was the moment distance started to become irrelevant. I mean, for the first time in all of human history, a message wasn't stuck at the speed of a horse or a ship. With the telegraph, a message could cross an entire ocean in minutes, not weeks. The world was suddenly connected in a way nobody could have even imagined before.
So, if the telegraph made the world feel smaller, Marconi's invention of the radio, well, that just cut the cord completely. Suddenly, no more wires. This wireless communication was a total game changer, especially for ships out at sea. They could finally talk to the shore, talk to each other. It made sailing so much safer.
Okay, so before we jump to the next huge leap, let's take a little detour. I want to talk about something you probably use every single day. Just look down at your keyboard for a second. That layout, QWERTY. Does it make any logical sense? Nope, but there is a fantastic story behind why it's like that.
Okay, get this. The QWERTY keyboard, it was actually designed to be bad. It was made to slow you down.
See, on the very first typewriters, the little mechanical arms would literally crash into each other and jam if you typed too fast. So the solution was to create a layout that put the most common letters far apart, forcing people to type slower. And that fix for a 15-year-old mechanical problem is still the keyboard we all use today. How crazy is that?
So, after all those dots and dashes and clacking typewriter keys, the telephone brought something absolutely crucial back to long-distance communication: the human voice. All of a sudden, you could actually hear the emotion, the laughter, the tone in someone's voice, even if they were miles and miles away. It was kind of like we went back to that personal, intimate connection of our very first conversations.
And that, of course, brings us right up to today, the digital world. This is the era where all that power of instant global communication moved from being stuck in a building or a house to living right inside our pockets.
I mean, the change just in our lifetimes has been absolutely insane. Just think about it for a second. The first mobile phones, back in the 80s, they were these huge bricks. They cost a fortune, and they did exactly one thing: make phone calls. Now compare that to the device in your pocket. It's a supercomputer. It's your camera, your GPS, your library. It's your window to the entire planet.
And really, the internet was the final, massive piece of this whole puzzle, because it did something completely new. It wasn't just about connecting one person to another person, or one TV station to millions of people. No, the internet connected everybody to everything. It created this huge global library, this worldwide conversation, where for the first time ever, anyone could not just listen in, but actually speak up and have a voice.
You know, even before the internet linked up all our computers, another piece of tech gave us a little sneak peek of that shared future. I'm talking about 1969, television. It created this single global moment where hundreds of millions of people all over the world literally held their breath and watched together, live, as a human being walked on the moon for the first time. It was this incredible, shared experience for all of humanity, all thanks to the power of broadcasting.
And that's really what this whole journey has led to. From a puff of smoke to a satellite in orbit, we've built this web of connection that's so tight, so dense, that something happening on one side of the world can be felt and seen instantly on the other. The world, for all intents and purposes, has become one big global village.
So we've done it. We've conquered distance in time. Our messages basically travel at the speed of light now, which begs the question, what's next? What's the next great communication barrier for us to break? Is it talking to other species, communicating across different dimensions? Or maybe the final and hardest barrier is just learning how to truly understand each other. The connection part is instant now, but the understanding, well, that's still on us.